guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lauren. I do random content on my channel whenever I can. So, I wanted to talk about a tea channel that I actually wanted to talk about a long time ago, but at the time I wasn't really a commentary channel, and I didn't think I would have the same opinion as others, or others may not thought the same way I did. But I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers talk about this tea channel and give their opinion, so I was thinking, why don't I do it, because I technically had these opinions also about this tea channel, you know. So yeah, in the midst of my freshman year, let me go back a little bit because to give you guys some backstory. In the midst of my freshman year and even my 8th grade year also, there was always tea channels I would watch. Like, I would just be watching them just for, I don't know, it was like a guilty pleasure of mine. I loved watching tea channels, and I believe the notable ones I watched was Spill Tea. There's so many with the same name, and I just thought about that. Like, they all have either the same name or they have it switched or something like that. Oh my god, I just realized that. Anyways, but I would watch a lot of tea channels like that. But most notably, the one I would watch when I was a freshman was the tea channel Anna Oop, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And there was a lot I noticed with the channel when I watched it, and this is actually one of the reasons why I dropped the channel, because of it. But let's get started with the video, and I'll explain a bit more of my reasonings. Before we get started though, I do want to stress this is no hate at all to the channel Anna Oop. This is just me giving my opinion on the channel, why I personally stopped watching it, and all of that. This is in no way hate to anyone behind the channel, nothing like that. So, and please do not send hate to them at all either. Yeah, that's it. This is just an opinion video, and let's get started into the video. So like I said, I watched Anna Oop when I was a freshman, and I personally like their channel because they uploaded regularly and all that stuff. Now, one thing though that I liked that the tea channel Spill did that Anna Oop didn't do though, was that Spill added a lot of information to it, and they stayed unbiased. That was the main thing, and a lot of people did come for Spill because they found out that it was a corporation doing it. I don't know how I felt about that. I really didn't think much of it being a corporation. More though that it was that they were actually getting the information and presenting it in an unbiased way in which they looked at both sides of it. And that's what I liked about Spill. And that was one of the things I didn't like about Anna Oop, because when it came to Anna Oop, and I think a lot of people can agree with me on this, was that they were very biased towards the D'Amelios, for sure. And I noticed this when I was a freshman, and I remember searching up if anybody else thought the same way I did, and nothing came up, and I was like, am I just going crazy, or is she actually doing that, you know? And it's I found it so weird because I thought it happened once or twice, and I was like, okay, I get it. But when it came to stuff that let's say the D'Amelios did, Charlie and Dixie, if they did stuff and Addison Rae did the same thing, Addison was bashed for it, but the D'Amelios were praised for it. You get me? It was stuff like that, and it was kind of I'm not a fan of either of them, but when it comes to any type of media, particularly journalism, because that's kind of what this is, you cannot have a biased standpoint, because then it's not going to be, your viewers aren't really going to like that, because you need to look at it from the perspective of two sides, you know? And I'm going to be honest, I try to do that on this channel when I do commentary videos, and I think a good example of one is that my Ariana Grande video, because yes, Ariana Grande is my favorite artist, or is one of my favorite artists, but there has to be a time where you call out your faves, and I think this can go for Anna doing videos on the D'Amelios, in which, they can be doing something problematic, and she'll be like, ooh, yes, queen, and I'll talk about more about that as we continue, because there's an overusage of that, I think. Anyways, so she would constantly praise them, even if they did something wrong, to be honest, or something that another influencer could do, and she'll degrade the influencer for doing it, but praise the Demonios for doing the same thing. You get me? And there has to be a time where you'll call out your faves. And like I was bringing up the Ariana Grande video, when, for those of you guys who don't know, it was the video where Ariana Grande was mocking the Native community, right? And yes, Ariana Grande is a favorite artist of mine. However, you have to be willing to call out your faves, and it's not canceling them. And a lot of people miss that, and I really want to stress, when you call out your faves, it is not canceling them, it is just holding them accountable, letting them know what they did was wrong. That's all that is. It's not in any way canceling them, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that. I don't believe in cancel culture, but when you continue to do problematic things, you shouldn't have a platform. And if you do something bad, you just need to own up to it. That's it. Like, just apologize and just learn from it, you know? Because we're all humans. We all tend to make mistakes. And I've said this before on my channel. Yeah, so when you throw around, because I've seen on Anna Oop's channel, when I went to, like, view it recently, yesterday, for this video, she threw around the word canceling a lot. And it was like, that's not what this is about. Canceling is more like if you've done it a lot, so many problematic things. Holding someone accountable is not automatically a cancellation. And I just want to throw that out there because a lot of people seem to think that that's like straight jumping into cancellation. No, not at all. Oh, and then a recent thing I heard, this actually happened like 2 months ago. A recent thing I heard surrounding the channel Anna Oop was she said a slur. And I didn't even know about this until recently. Like, oh my gosh. Now look, the slur she said, I'm gonna just tell you guys what happened. In a video she made about 2 months ago surrounding the influencer Bryce Hall, which, by the way, if you want to watch the video, it currently is age restricted because of the slur. So you need another account over 18 to view it. And so I used a different account I have, and I viewed the video in question, and I'll be showing you guys clips of when she said it and all that stuff. Now, first off, I was willing to cut her some slack on it. I was willing to cut her some slack because even in the comments of the video, some people didn't even know that it was a slur, and the slur I'm talking about is the W slur. It's a slur towards Mexicans. It's very degrading in the Mexican culture to be called that. So it's basically a derogatory term towards Mexicans, and the full definition of it and how it's a slur is basically the W slur, or I'm just going to put wet, and that's what it is. That's what it is. It's a derogatory term used in the United States to refer to foreign nationals residing in the U.S., most commonly Mexicans. The word mostly targets illegal immigrants in the United States. Generally used as an ethnic slur, the term was originally coined and applied only to Mexicans who entered the U.S. state of Texas from Mexico by crossing the Rio Grande, which is the U.S. border, presumably by swimming or wading across the river and getting wet in the process. So it's very demeaning. It's very derogatory towards Mexicans. So for those of you guys who had no idea this was a slur, I would recommend please educate yourself on more words in different communities that are slurs so you can avoid using them and all that stuff. And yeah, it's honestly really offensive to me because I'm Hispanic, for those of you guys who may not know. I get my Hispanic culture from my family on both sides who are Mexican. Like, on my mom's side, it's my grandparents who are from Mexico. On my dad's side, I have family from Mexico. So that's how I get my Hispanic culture. And I have a lot of friends who also themselves are Hispanic because I live in a very Hispanic-dominated area. So, and the majority of all of them their Hispanic culture comes from Mexico also. So it very much hurts to hear this word because, like I said, it is very derogatory towards our culture and all that stuff. And the thing, like I said, I wouldn't cut her slack if she didn't know what it meant. But when she talked about Bryce Hall making the comment, because what the whole situation was that Bryce Hall fought this Mexican guy, and supposedly Bryce Hall called the Mexican guy the slur. And when doing research on that topic, one, she had to have known that was a slur because you had to do research on the topic with Bryce Hall and everything. And all of the news articles that probably touched upon that the W slur was a slur. Second of all, she also says it in the beginning of her video that Bryce Hall called someone a racial slur. She said it like 20 seconds in, and then 2 minutes into the video, that's when she says a slur.
Yet. But unfortunately, he's now getting sued for not only fighting a restaurant owner, but for also calling the Mexican owner a racial slur. That's what the TMZ News article had to say. Bryce Hall and his boys are getting sued for throwing down in a Mexican restaurant in LA, and one of the owners thinks they swung on him because he's a Mexican immigrant. According to the docs obtained by TMZ, Hernan told his staff to close out Bryce's tab, and shortly thereafter, a server alleges she heard Bryce refer to Hernan as a wetback and the Mexican.
So I would have cut her slack if she didn't know, but like, you had to have done research and you knew before you said it, so that's just very offensive, honestly. There were just a little bit of comments of people who didn't agree with it and all that stuff, and Anna Oop did release an apology on her community tab, where I personally didn't even know she did this because I hadn't even been following her channel in so long. But to be honest, it's kind of hypocritical if you ask me, when you call out YouTubers or influencers in general, when you make whole videos of them saying a slur, but when you do it, it's just a little thing in the community tab like, I apologize, this and that. And she did put a link where she was donating money to a Hispanic group, which is good, yes, don't get me wrong, but you could have done a video touching upon it so other people can understand what you did was wrong, you know, because a lot of people probably didn't even see the community tab, because that's where she posted her apology. And yeah, I just thought that was kind of hypocritical. You get after these influencers for saying slurs and you make whole videos about them, but when you do it, it's just a little thing in your community tab, you know? It's just a little apology like, hey guys, I'm sorry. And what got me, especially in the comments of that, was there were people praising her who probably weren't even Hispanic, and they're like, oh, we forgive you, oh queen, we stand the queen who stays accountable, who holds herself accountable. And it's like, I want to know, are you Hispanic? Are you mainly Mexican? Because that's who this is targeted. Are you Mexican? Because that's who the slur offended. The slur was towards Mexicans. If you were not part of the community, you have no say in defending them. And I swear, I hate this a lot because it happens so much, not just with the Mexican, the Hispanic community. It's also the Black community, Asian community, the Native American community. Literally in my Ariana Grande video, you have people defending her when it was offensive towards natives. And in this case with Anna Oop, you have people defending her when it was towards Mexicans. So when the apology was not for you, you have no say to accept it or deny it. You have no say if you are not part of the community, because that's who it offended, you know? Yeah, and it's just like they let her get a pass through it. And like, I do think people can change, yes. I hope she does learn from this experience, because I'm not saying we should cancel her or anything like that for saying the slur. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But this just comes to show you need to be educated, especially if you're going to be in this type of commentary on your channel. And the thing is, she knew what she said because she did do research on it, and she did say in the beginning of her video. So that's all I'm going to say. You need to understand what you said was wrong, and for people to still be mad about this 2 months later, because that's how I found out, they have every right. If you're Mexican and you're still upset about her saying a slur, you have every right, to be honest. You do not have to accept her apology. The last thing I'm going to touch up upon was something that the YouTuber It's Keisha touched upon, which I love her channel. Go check her out. If you are not subscribed, go check her out. I love her videos. She's also a commentary channel. But anyways. So what It's Keisha brought up was the overusage of the African American AAVE in Anna Oop's channel. Now, to my knowledge, Anna Oop has never confirmed herself to be Black, and many people assume she's white because I believe she's done a face reveal. I'm not really sure. I'll edit it. I'll put a little edits note in here. But anyways, her channel, the name of her channel stemmed from the meme that was popular around 2019, I think, 2018, which was the meme, and I oop. This one, I'm gonna show you right now.
And I oop.
So it was that which It's Keisha brought up in her channel, because It's Keisha is a black content creator, so she did touch up on how problematic it kind of was to overuse AAVE and use it in the wrong context. Because, like, if you do notice in Anna Oop's content, she does make a lot of, like, yes queen, or, like, a lot of comments like that, and she does use the AAVE a lot in her channel, and I remember seeing that when I first watched her channel, that she would use, like, girl or Miss Girl or something like that. It was always, like, comments like that.
But it's something that I find to be very uncomfortable. Is it worse than the point I just pulled up? Probably. I've noticed that in a lot of her videos, she's always saying stuff like, so guys, did you hear about Charlie D'Amelio? She literally got exposed. Come on, sis, this is just so cringe to me. This whole use of, like, the black accent, or sometimes, like, the African-American vernacular English is a little bit, just a little bit annoying. It happens in every single video and it still hasn't changed. You know, when someone's trying to force something, sometimes you're using the word in the wrong context. Like, it doesn't fit, but you're trying to make it fit because you just now found out about the word and you just can't stop using it. Yes, bitch. Yes, sis. Sis. Yes. Oh my god, she's a simp. These are all words that stemmed from the black community, specifically the LGBTQ plus community, right? But we forget to constantly pull that up.
Anyways, though, I think, I think, though, the one thing I think she needed to change, I think what she's starting to change, because a lot of people called her out on it, was the bias towards the D'Amelios. I think she started to change that because of how many people have called her out for it. It was that, and it was also the slur thing that I mainly had the problem with, because, you know, like I said, I'm Hispanic, coming from Mexican ancestry. I think that's how you say it. That's the main thing I had a problem with her channel thing. And like I said, that wasn't canceling her. I was just holding her accountable. She said a slur, you know. It's not automatically canceling someone. I think she could have handled the apology better, to be honest. I think it's better to actually make a video apologizing, to be honest. And it's also up to the community to accept the apology. I personally don't think she should be canceled. I just think she should learn her lesson. But at the same time, a lot of people weren't even, like, holding her accountable, to be honest. A lot of people were just in the comments like, oh, it's okay, we stand an accountable queen. But it's, like I said earlier, it's not your apology to accept whatsoever. So yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys think about this down below, the entire video in general. I'd like to hear what you guys think down below. Let me know in the comments. I think this is it for this video. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below what else you guys want me to talk about on this channel. I think this is it. I know this video is going to be pretty long, so I'm going to have to, like cut a lot of it out. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys have a great day or night, depending on where you live, and I'll see you guys next time on my channel. Bye, guys!